So I want to talk about AEW. I'm going to talk about the Continental title. And so the champion right now is Okada. And I just want to say, I really like the Continental Classic, right? I know it ended like a few weeks ago at World's End, but I want to talk about it because, like I said, I'm behind. I'm behind on AEW. I caught up on everything. And so I want to discuss it. Now, the first thing I want to say about the Continental Classic is that my favorite match in that whole entire series was Will Ospreay versus Darby Allin. When I tell you that match, I was just like in shock. Because, Will Ospreay, he can run circles around so many wrestlers. Like, he is just really fast. And then you have Darby Allin. And I'm so used to seeing Darby Allin against people who are bigger than him. Not to say that him and Ospreay are like the same size. But, I'm used to seeing him go like against like a Brian Cage. Or against somebody crazy like a Jon Moxley who just wants to hurt him. And so it was nice seeing him in a match where Will Ospreay didn't want to kill him. He just wanted to win the match, right? And we got to see so many amazing sequences in that match. And so I have to say it was my favorite match of that whole entire tournament. Now, was it the only great one? No, we had a lot of great things happening in that tournament. But now that was the best match. That was my pro, right? That was the highlight. My con, the negative thing about the Continental Classic to me is how Beast Mortis was treated. I'm going to say it right now. That was disrespectful. They did him dirty. He didn't even win a point. He couldn't have even tied. And that just, it really upset me. Because I'm like, why are we treating him like this? He's actually a really great wrestler. I love his look. He looks really intimidating. Why are we treating him like he is a squash person? He's not. He's not a jobber. You know what I mean? That is my con, okay? Now, I am going to talk about how I liked that in the Continental Classic we had multiple stories going on. Like, first of all, let's talk about Kyle Fletcher. He shone in this tournament. He was in the semifinals, and he went against Will Ospreay again. He already beat him the first time. And then he went against him at World's End. And this time, Will Ospreay beat Kyle Fletcher. But I feel like AEW has been building him really well. And they used the Continental Classic to keep beating him. This is how good they booked him in that tournament. He did not lose. He only lost one match. That's it. You know what that is, to be in the Continental Classic and have all these matches and only lose once? And that person was to Mark Briscoe. So clearly, they kept him strong. And then, of course, he lost at the semifinals. But he'll head over. Now I know why they let him beat Will Ospreay in his first round with him. It's because Will was going to win the second round. And they didn't want to make him look weak. I think his gimmick is like he's the proto star now. And so, I don't mind that. I think that they are really building a really good character here. Am I going to be his fan? I don't know. But he's in my peripheral, so we'll see what happens with him, right? And then we also had, what I also enjoyed, like I said, I liked Will Ospreay versus Darby Allin. I like that they kind of have a bit of a friendship now. Coming out of that match, Will Ospreay, he came out respecting Darby Allin more because Darby like I said, what a match. Darby pushed him to his limits. And, we still have that whole thing going on with Darby Allin and the Death Riders and Jon Moxley, at New Year's Bash. They threw him down the stairs. Jon Moxley, first he hit him with a chair on the neck. Well, he stomped on the chair on his neck. And then he threw him down the stairs. This is the second time Darby Allin has been thrown down a flight of stairs. Crazy. We haven't seen him since. But that, again, is the storyline we were telling in the Continental Classic as well, especially because Claudio was in there. It was Darby Allin who outsmarted Claudio so that Claudio couldn't make it to the semifinals. He's the one who told Commander to look under the ring, to go in the pocket of Darby's pink jacket, and to get the brass knucks and use them on Claudio. And that's exactly what happened, and that's how Claudio lost that match. And he wasn't able to go to the semifinals. And so I like the continuity that we're having here. AEW is learning how to tell more than one story. And I'm enjoying it a lot. I can't wait to see Darby Allin back, though. I miss him. He'll be back soon. Right? But I wanted to talk about that. And then here, during this Continental Classic, we had Ricochet turn heel. I have not seen Ricochet as a heel. He is always a babyface. From what I remember, I saw him in WWE. You can always correct me in the comments below. But Ricochet has always been a babyface, you know. He's a high flyer. And he is a heel now. I love it. I love it because, again, we told a new story. Out of this Continental Classic came a lot of new feuds. And one of my favorite ones that I can't wait to see is Swerve versus Ricochet. Because Ricochet had a lot of arrogance and decided to talk smack to Swerve. And what the Swerve did, he said, if you don't win this Continental Classic, I'm going to embarrass you. And he didn't win. Ricochet didn't win. And so what the Swerve did, he came out, because Okada beat Ricochet in the semifinals at World's End. He came out and TP'd and had everybody TP, toilet paper, throw toilet paper into the ring and embarrass Ricochet. And then Ricochet came the next week after that and left Swerve a bloody mess. Like I said, EAW has a violence factor to it. But this is a new side to Ricochet that I've never seen. And I'm excited to see and explore this, this side of him. And not just that, because of his heel turn, the Hurt Syndicate re-signed their offer. They told Ricochet, we don't want nothing to do with you. I'm going to talk about them later. We're going to talk more about the Hurt Syndicate later. But I enjoyed Ricochet in this Continental Classic. I saw a new side to him that I've never seen. And it's good to see. It's good to see. I look forward to more. Now, Brody King was a monster throughout this whole entire Continental Classic. But again, he wasn't the one that they were building up. I felt like Mark Briscoe had a really good showing here. They kept him strong. Like I said, he's the only one who beat Kyle Fletcher in that Continental Classic. He won his match against him. And he would beat Daniel Garcia. Now, again, if I'm wrong, you can write it in the comments. But he just had a TBS a TBS championship match. Let me know if I'm wrong. But he did just end up fighting. Mark Briscoe went against Daniel Garcia. I don't know why I'm so tongue-tied. He went against Daniel Garcia for Daniel Garcia's title. It's the TNT championship. I'm going to correct myself. And he went against him, and it was a really good match. And they didn't have that much time left. And I was like, are we really going to end this in a draw? Because we saw a lot of draws in the Continental Classic. But I'm like, are we really going to end this in a draw? But we didn't. Daniel Garcia beat him with not a lot of time to spare. Very much enjoyed that match. Like I said, there were so many different stories being told in this Continental Classic. Shelton Benjamin was showcased really well. The Syndicate, their storylines kept flowing and going through with everything as well through the Continental Classic. And then I like Commander. I liked that, he replaced Juice Robinson, but he showcased himself very well, and he was able to get some points, unlike Beast Mortis. Yeah, I didn't like it that. And so I think that they did a really, really good job here, and I'm so happy that Okada kept his title. Okada versus Will Ospreay was a great match at World's End 2024. It was an amazing match. And then for Kenny Omega to come out after Okada won that match, apparently he's done this in New Japan several times. And so I wanted him to win, because ever since the Elite have left, I felt like we haven't seen him as much. And I was like, oh my God, what if they do to him what they did to Jack Perry and take the title away from him, and then he disappears? But no, we kept the title on him. We gave him more prestige, because I think this is like the fifth tournament that he has won. And he's just going to keep breaking records. And so I'm happy they kept him strong. I really am. And so I think this is gonna be really good. I don't know who is gonna go against Okada, because we did that whole Continental Classic, and now we're not focusing on him as much again. But I see what AEW is like a rotation. They have so many titles. It's like a rotation that happens here. And so I'm just happy he kept the title. I'm glad we got some amazing matches out of this. And I can't wait to see who his next challenger is gonna be.